Everything is a collage. I'm a collage of my mother's egg and my dad's sperm. And right now, I'm making a glamour magic spell box. And the lead I created for the box, it's a collage. And I got inspired by this movie, View from the Top. It's a movie with Gwyneth Paltrow, where her character dreams of becoming a flight attendant. The movie is pretty cute. It's Y2K. It's about leveling up and following your dreams. When I saw it, it was an easy watch. I just wanted to relax. But then I thought how I used to go for my dreams. And it was similar to how Gwyneth's character was doing it. I remember just wanting something and going for it. When I was in school, for example, I wanted to go to a certain high school. I knew I had to study for 1 year before it, really study hard for the exams and go for it. Then for the driving license later on, I knew I had to learn for the written part of the exam and then to practice for the driving part. Whenever I wanted something, I could think of a way to get to it because there was also, in most cases, a system in place, or you can deduce what a system could be. I also wanted to study acting. I started going to courses. I went to movement classes, to group acting. I did private tutoring with a local actor. Then I went to another group and with another teacher, and I just realized that I wasn't good at it. I put the system in place, but I wasn't good at it. Then with the university and so on, whenever I knew what I wanted, I would study and I would develop the skills, or I would improve on the skills. For example, with the acting thing, it just required spatial awareness and also observing myself while acting. I think this is called metacognition, which I didn't master. I used to punish myself or to blame myself when I didn't know what I want. But now I know, and I realize it for a while, that it is normal to be so confused when everything changes so fast. For example, my mom worked 25 years for the same company, and then that company was privatized and 2/3 of the people were fired. And she went to another country and then worked like a babysitter and a cleaning lady. She did other jobs because she had to adjust fast to what she thought would have been a life of doing just one job. Because my grandfather, for example, her father, he worked in the same state company for 30 plus years and then he just retired. I worked as a copywriter for 7 years. Then I worked for another 5 years as a narrative designer. And the main thing of my work was creative writing or commercial creative writing. And when ChatGPT appeared, I was in shock at that moment. I was unemployed. I realized I'm redundant, or that part of my life just became redundant. My whole work experience was just useless because I couldn't compete with the velocity and the computational power of a program. Now, of course, I did get to work again using part of my creativity. When I'm thinking now about it, I don't blame myself for not knowing what I want because it's very unstable. So I just do whatever the fuck I want. I want to make things with my hands. My creativity is not tied to my surviving skills, or it is, but in a more profound way. It's not like I'm competing right now with my creativity to be better in my workplace or to advance in my career. I just do whatever brings me joy. With colors, with textures, I put makeup on my face. I draw things. I glue things together. I create rituals like spells. I do whatever I want. And I also do digital things. I do collaging digitally as well. I bring together a piece of a song that I like with some scraps of videos and I create like a video, and I don't put this anywhere. It's just for my pleasure and just for me to keep that creative human thing going. The same with writing. I used notes to write 30 plus pages of a story, and when I did it, I observed the negative thoughts I had the previous day, and while starting to write, I realized I have a story to tell, that my thoughts were so random and crazy, and that I can also involve everyone I ran into that day and the impressions I have of the people, but my judgments over them, not the reality of what was happening, because how can I know what was happening inside of their heads? And I have to continue that. I will continue it. But I just took my phone every morning for about 2 weeks, and I would just write for 2 hours in the morning in my notes app, not on a night's notebook. And so I don't have to know the beginning of the thing that I have to do. I don't even have to think of it as my big life opera or creation. I just have to start and to keep moving. And I don't commercialize anymore this pleasurable collaging, putting words together in a novel or in a story. It's a collage. Putting colors and textures together is a collage. And as I said in the beginning, my mother and my father bringing an egg and some sperm together led to me being here. And all of my experiences led to my personality. Everything is a collage. Nothing is of its own. And yeah, you can move and change the pieces. Right now, I can do whatever job. I don't think that my creativity in the workplace defines my value as a person anymore. I don't think it helps me survive anymore either, in the sense that I will win my bread with my creativity. No, I will just exist and live my life today, right now, with stupid or non-arty stuff. I don't even care if they're arts. It's just about pleasure and bringing things together and making stuff. We have to make stuff to have a life going on. We can also observe, of course. Observation is good. For me, observation is good, but also is kind of escapism, and also research can become a way to escape. When I research too much on something, sometimes the information cancels itself out. I don't even know why I'm researching anymore, because if I don't have a specific goal in my head and I'm just researching, it's just to keep myself busy. And this busyness, this is what I hate. I kept myself busy with researching or doing stuff just to feel like I'm working on something, as I used to do. I was a workaholic. I think I still am, but treating myself, yeah. And instead of feeling like I'm doing constantly something useful, like researching, I'd rather do something stupid, like putting together a flower and an old pair of underwear, which I did today. They looked amazing together. Yes. I think I don't have any message except for everything is a collage, and we can move the pieces around as we want to, because everything is uncertain and we don't know what is relevant in the workplace. So we can be free with whatever we do in the moment.